love you too, Jamie. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Stewie. Hey, Oda May. Good to see you, darling. Oh, sorry. Oops, wrong button. I just want to come on real quickly. I wanted to do this a couple days ago, but I've just been busy. And I know Ladies' Night is coming on in about 30 minutes. So this is going to be just a short little stream. Thank y'all for coming in. Hey, Eris. Nice to see you, Angel. Um, Real quick and to the point. Well, first, I want to tell you that I had my 2.5 week post op appointment, and it was really well. My toes look so funny. It looks like I grew about an inch and a half because I'm so used to how they used to look. But I still have to keep my pins in for another 4 weeks. But everything is fine. They took about 65 stitches out of my feet, my toes and my feet. So thank y'all for your love and prayers for that. I appreciate you so much, and things are good. So on to Rosie. Rosie, I love you. I'm not the only one. You are amongst a sea of people that love and adore you. And I am so heartfeltly sorry that the one or two, or maybe at the most three, people that have attacked you with no reason other than they are jealous, spiteful shrews have tarnished anything in your image of YouTube. And I'm so sorry that those two or three people are so miserable in their own existence that they can be jealous of a woman in hospice. And I know that the two or three sometimes seem like they overshadow the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who love, adore, and support you. But I want to officially say that they are idiots. They are jealous. They are miserable in their own lives. And, I happen to hear, I don't ever listen to her. I don't subscribe to her because her voice makes me angry. The only voice second to hers is Mama Bear's. But Sam, going on, acting like she's the expert of everything when she is the biggest liar on YouTube. Second to her is Pam. She's been caught in so many lies, lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. And the only people that take her seriously are fools like Jamie Kimbrough, who can't stand her, can't stand Mama Bear. I can show you text and phone calls of her stating how much she dislikes these people, but she has nowhere else to go. So why not join, the gremlins of the community? So here we have these people acting like they have any say so at all about what goes on. Their little tiny, voice, even though you can be loud and screechy and curse and things that you think are impressive, they make no sense. Nobody believes you. Nobody trusts you. You got your partner, Jamie Kimber, on the side. I'll make a fierce team, let me tell you. Nobody likes you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody takes you seriously. You are a bunch of fools. And if you think you're going to change Dave's mind about his legal courses, and you're going to paint this little pitiful mama bear, all elderly and sick, and then her mentally disabled child, get a life. Linda is 60 years old. She is not even close to being eligible for a full Social Security retirement. She's got 6 more years. We've seen her dancing, jumping up and down, swimming, making a total fool of herself. She is not an elderly disabled woman. And believe me, that's being looked into. And by the way, Linda, your little friend that you called in North Carolina, your Social Security lady. Uh huh. Well, she's on to you. And boy, she's mad. She is. Have you had any conversations with her lately? No, because she knows you've been videotaping her and playing it on a live stream. Oh, and she knows what you've been telling her is a shitload of lies. And you know what else, Linda? She knows about all you've been doing in your little life, claiming disability. She has a direct connection to the disability specialist in Ohio. So, you're not fooling anybody, Linda Bear. Sam, you're just an idiot. You have more lies. I mean, I don't know how you can be respected anything in your community. I'm not going to talk about children. I'm not going to talk about you as a parent, but you can put the pieces together. You know already in your heart what you're doing. You already know the example that you're setting. You already know what you're doing to produce the type of children that you're producing, and that's all I'm going to say. No, it's not a fault that your children or child is an addict. I'm saying that you're setting an example of lies and bullying for your children to follow. Okay, on to Miss Linda. Hey, IVF, and hey, Crystal. I wanted to make this point really clear because Linda said, I never questioned her cancer. Mm-mm. No, I didn't. Mm-mm. As an American, I asked a question. Well, as an American, Linda, I'm going to point out the fact that you're a lying sack of lazy shit. You have no friends. You have no family to support you. You say you know people in high and low places, people in the mafia, poor crowd, criminals, officials, wealthy people. It's funny how none of them gave to your GoFund. You know so many people. Why did you have to come to a bunch of strangers on YouTube to beg for $6,000? You know so many people, and they, would do anything for you. Love you, Shannon. Why in the hell would you have to come to YouTube and beg for money for 6 months if you know so many people in the community? Love you, sweet Renee. But the point I wanted to make is you saying that you never questioned Rose's answer is a bullshit lie. And you will have to live for the rest of your life knowing what you did to a woman, a mother, a wife who is in the final stages of cancer. And she didn't even ask for help. We came to her and begged to help her. And because you were so envious that people couldn't help you because you were here longer, just because you were here longer doesn't mean you were liked longer, doesn't mean you were loved and supported longer. That is a null and void point. Doesn't matter if you were here for 100 years before Rosie got here. The truth of the matter is, people love Rosie. People care about Rosie, and they don't love you, and they don't care about you. And that's a tough pill to swallow, and you haven't quite coughed it down yet. That's the bottom line. And that pill that's in the back lodged in your throat is full of venom and jealousy and hatred. And these are the things that you have said that have questioned and outright called Rosie a liar about her cancer. So don't you dare say you never questioned her cancer. You questioned her about pulling weeds in her backyard, saying, she must not be very bad off if she could do that. My daddy couldn't do that. You questioned her about her pain meds, saying, my daddy had a morphine pump. She didn't have no morphine pump. Not be very bad, or maybe she doesn't have cancer. You questioned her hair loss. You said, didn't look like it grew back. Like, she looked like she had hair, and that didn't look like she had chemo. Doesn't look like she, went through what I thought she would go through if she had had that. Directly question her cancer. You question her participation in streams. She might come on to one or two streams later in the evening, maybe when she has an ounce of that. Which, by the way, now she has stated that her vision is that to the point that she's going to have to stop even doing that little tiny bit of pleasure that she got in a day. You, Linda, questioned her having cancer because she typed a few words in people's streams that you didn't like. You harassed her. You looked up her housing, which we know how good your investigation skills are. If they were that good, you'd have a lovely 401k retirement. But no, your investigations were so pathetic that they fired you after 6 months. Oh, poor Linda. And you couldn't get a job anywhere else. That's how good your investigative skills are, you moron. You can't even pronounce the word. They kicked you out on your ass and you had to work peddly jobs one after the other. You have created this miserable life for you. You have ruined your credit. My mother was in a very similar situation, making less than you, I guarantee you. But she had enough pride and decency to not steal from her children, to not borrow money from her children, to keep her credit pristine, even though she also raised us on credit cards. She consolidated her debt and paid off every dime. But you bailed out and filed bankruptcy. That's what kind of a loser you are. So, yes, indeed, you did question Rosie whether or not she had cancer or not. Don't you ever say that again. You will live with that on your conscience long past the time that Rosie is no longer with us. You will have to pay for that for the rest of your life and thereon. God sees what you're doing, Linda. There's not a that you have 190 thumbs down and 4 thumbs up on every video. That is God and Jesus Himself tell you you are wicked, you are selfish, you are jealous, you are a horrible mother. And I do want to say this thing. I wasn't planning on saying this, but Linda, I want you to listen to me. Listen to my words. I know you're going to drag me because all you do is figure out the first person, whoever's dragging at the moment. I'm not dragging you. I'm telling the truth. I'm not. That's why it's always been so hard for you to say anything against me because all I've ever said was the truth about you. Name one thing that I've ever lied or exaggerated on when I've talked about you. Name it. Name one thing. You can't. All you do is come back with lies about me. And we're creating a little list, by the way, because you say you don't lie. You say you're not a liar. Well, we got a list going, doll baby. And tell me how you're going to answer them, okay? But here's what I want to say as a critique of your motherhood, because that's what I've mentioned many times. And then I'm going to critique you as a pet owner, and we'll be done. Because my job, what I've always been drawn to, and I didn't even really realize it, but this is what I do. I speak up for people that don't have a voice. I speak up for animals that don't have a voice. And I speak up for those that their voice is not loud enough to hear. Your daughter being one of them. Your daughter on a live stream recently, and also I know from conversations, has said that her mother doesn't do anything with her. She begs her to go do this and that, come with her for this and that and the other. And she won't. She says she's too tired. But she's able to live stream for 4, 6, 8 hours a day. She's got plenty of energy to dress up in wigs, dance around, skinny dip, and just have a good old time for hours and hours on end. And you know how that makes Rebecca feel? Not to mention that you took over her only platform that brought her any joy, any access to the outside world, because neither one of you have contact with anybody, lest they be an electrician, plumber, doctor, somebody mowing your grass. Neither one of you have a single friend. That is sick. But what you could do is put aside your own personal wants and needs, and you're bored out of your mind, you're attention starved, you're sick in the head, and so you choose to live stream for hours and hours a day while Rebecca rots in her bed. The only way she can get attention from you is to participate in one of your streams or to come in and ask a few questions while you are streaming. You are not doing your job as a parent. Pay attention to her. You yourself said that she is a child in her mind. You are neglecting a child that needs you desperately because of your own selfish wants and needs. And as far as Sammy, you are too sick in the brain with the most selfish motives of anybody I've ever seen and the lowest IQ of a human being still living to the age of 60 I've ever seen. And you are hurting that dog. After Sammy dies, don't you dare get another. And you talked about this is a little background story, but you talked about your dog in the past when you were an adult, and that your dog got pregnant because some dog broke in and got her pregnant. After she had her puppy, she got pregnant again because you're too much of a dumb fucking cheap bitch to get your dog spayed. And you said that Sammy and his sister had babies. I hope to God you didn't mean that Sammy and his sister, but I wouldn't put it past you. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The fact that you've said that your words, Sammy is covered in. You know how scab forms, Linda? It's when you itch yourself so hard, so profusely, over and over again in the same spot that so much blood comes to the surface that it eventually hardens, it becomes scab. That means, that you are profusely itching that one spot. It's not in one or two or three parts of his body, it's all over his body. And when you touch him, of course, he tries to bite you. That's not even what worries me. The other day, maybe it was today, I can't remember, you had to get Rebecca in there to get him off of the bed for him to piss. because you didn't want to touch him because you knew he would bite you. Well, as Rebecca picked him up, he made that god awful squeal of a bark that, dog owners know is the sound of an animal in pain. That you are some sick fucks letting that dog suffer while both of you lay and rot in your beds all day. Plenty of money to take that dog to the vet. And for you to say that he gets a shot every 6 weeks, for fuck's sake, is not working. If he gets a shot every 6 weeks, which isn't true, you're too lazy as shit to get up and do that every 6 weeks. When he makes his 6 week appointment, what you should do is make his next 6 week appointment, maybe two or three of them down the road. So you can't use the fucking excuse that you can't get in with your vet. But the shots are not working. They are not enough. Your dog isn't, he is suffering. Just because he lays on a bed, you cover him up and put a disgusting Old Roy bone, which, if anybody knows anything about Old Roy, it's the cheapest shit you can get at Walmart, and it's full of disgusting, degenerate material. She could at least get him a nicer bone. And that disgusting, degenerate material is all over Linda's bed and pillows and sheets. And he has three or four at a time. And that's what Linda sleeps with, by the way. But anyway, you feed him French fries and ice cream and chocolate, and he lays there, and he lays there, and he lays there. And if you dare lift him up or touch him or really pet him, you never really pet him. You might pat him on the head, but you don't pet him because he's covered in sores. You had every right for animal control to be called on you. They should be called again. You are sick living in that house full of maggots, full of carpet from the 1950s, full of floor that looks like the pilgrims wouldn't even have been okay with it in the kitchen. You are dirty. We've seen your room with your bed and your dirty sheets that you never ever pull up and make your bed. You see all the bottles and bottles and bottles of pills, everything else so that you can lay in bed and have everything within the hand's reach. A bathroom full of shit that you don't use. You can't even use the bathroom because it's so full of shit. You are a hoarder, and so is your daughter. You are both selfish and ignorant, which is a deadly combination, especially for people in charge of children or animals. Thank God there's no children there. And that's probably the reason why you weren't even invited to your daughter's wedding. Nope, she didn't care about having you there. Sure didn't. Y'all blamed it on not having enough money. Not having enough money to go to your own daughter's wedding? Bullshit. Best believe that daughter has a brain in her head and she's going to get as far away as she can from you. The only reason she ever comes home is for Rebecca. She can't stand you, just like the rest of your family. But what you have done to Rosie, you will live with and you will be punished for, along with other 10,000 indiscretions. And you know the Word of God. That's what makes it even worse. And God will hold you to a higher standard. I speak the truth. I've not said anything that's untrue. Stop lying and said that you never questioned Rosie's cancer. I just pointed out several reasons why you did. Stop lying and saying that you care about your dog. because you don't have enough intelligence to take care of him and give him what he needs to be a happy and healthy little Sammy dog. Stop lying and saying that you aren't full of spite, jealousy, and selfishness, because that has what has engulfed your body and dominated your mind the majority of your adulthood. And that is why you are in the situation you are now, with no friends, begging for money, begging for things. You had the audacity every night in your streams to say, Alpha, give me money. I saw you give money to somebody else. So and so, why'd you give money to them? You can give me $30. Why don't you like my kind? Give me money. Wait a minute. Put my PayPal in there. Give me money. I need money too. Give me money. I counted. You said it 17 times in one live stream. Give me money. Actually calling out people's names and saying, give me money. You sick, sick woman. What kind of example are you for your daughters? I hope you rot. No, I don't hope you rot. I hope that exactly what is coming to you will come to you in response, in direct response to all of the hate, jealousy, malice that you have put out into the world. All of that comes out of your mouth on a daily basis, all that begging, that will come back to you directly times two. That's how karma works. It'll come back to you twofold, and it's smacking you in the face right now. Enjoy, Linda. See y'all on Ladies Night in 10 minutes. Love y'all.